So I thought I will begin with something really simple today. Okay, and not very simple. The method which I'm sharing with you is very, very simple. But spellings are an ache in the English language. Not because the people who are learning the language are not intelligent, but because the language is so, I don't know whether you want to say quirky or unique or weird. There is no synchronicity between what you say and what you write. There is little, but there are a lot of gaps. Many of the languages that we speak as mother tongues, what you say is what you write. So, in Hindi, for instance, if I am saying Kumari, Ku, Ka ko chote u ki matra Mari, but in English, there are many ways of saying it. Okay, now if your name is let's say Pooja, now if you are writing it in Hindi, you will write Pooja, baat khatam. Okay, in English you can write it like this, you can write it like this. Okay, yes or no? Yes. Okay, you can write it in so many other ways, right? I remember when I was learning English, I always used to get confused whether you make chicken in the kitchen or kitchen in the chicken. There is no logic here. I mean, if you look at it now, kitchen, chicken, what? And then I remember my dad telling K is silent, and I used to say kano. I kano this. I said no, kano, it can't be kano. Then I said, what should I say? I now this. No, you can't even say now. It's no. But I go, no is no. How is this no? There is no answer. He'll say, I didn't make the language. This is how it is.
Didi, this is just like how can it be in the Didi's son. I was speaking English. He's asking me, hedges, why is the B side? Then why did they put the D there if they wanted it to be
exactly. That's exactly what I asked.
It's a very funny language.
So, if you wanted to be silent, why do you have to be there? It's like in a meeting. If you have to be quiet, why are you here in the first place? So, is there an answer to that? Probably no. It may be the answer. We could reason, because the Britishers conquered all parts of the world and the language grew. If you look at English about 400 years ago, when was Chaucer? You remember, who's read Chaucer? Anybody? You've read? When was Chaucer? That's Shakespeare. People find it difficult to understand Shakespeare. Chaucer was still earlier. He was known as the father of English poetry. If you pick up the Canterbury Tales, you say, this is English. Okay, so English is a language that has evolved not in one place. It's because of a transfusion of lot of culture. So the written language, and remember, writing came much later, right? So don't ask for logic. It doesn't exist. Okay, our Indian languages are very, very in sync with the spoken and the written world. Okay, and there is a finesse there. Here, no. I'm not trying to put English down, but I'm just saying when you compare it to a lot of other languages, okay, there is bound to be confusion when you're writing it. And if your children are making mistakes, it's probably because they're intelligent. Mistakes in spellings. Because the problem is not with the intelligence. This is the way the language is. It's it's how tradition has gone. Why do you need something to be silent? Somebody tell me that. Night, why does night have to be this? This should be nigit. But it is not nigit, it is night. This is how the Americans started changing it, I remember. And you would find this is night. This is correct. But no, you will give 0 to this kid. So, firstly, if we have to learn, and this is an English specific workshop, if the children have to learn a language like this and the spellings like this, first of all we have to accept that we have no answers why it is so irrational. We really don't know. So you have to tell the children, look, it's like I didn't make the world, I didn't make the language, this is how it is. If you write this anywhere, they will mark you wrong. This is what the English dictionary, when Dr. Johnson came up with the dictionary, this is how he compiled it, and that's how things happen. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, actual intelligence when it comes to learning spellings in English. I till now have bad spellings. Okay, so how do we go around this? Because this is not going to change anytime soon. They are not going to write NITE. They are not going to say, no, I know this. Then, maybe I used to give some knowledge. Look, if we say no when you are writing it, no, you get confused whether it is the knowing no or the no. Okay, you can try that with the children. But the challenge here is, how do children, when they are writing, because they learn to speak well, how do they come up with correct spellings? I mean, dictation is fine, dictation is a test, okay? But then how do you learn? I mean, I don't think tests are per se that important, but the learning process. In fact, I will teach you a couple of things, and then when you are giving dictations and all, you can use this method. Just in case I forget, just make me stop, and I'll give you how to actually take dictations and a couple of ideas, so that it'll be really cool for you people. Okay, so it's very, very, very simple. Because we are battling rationality, we have to go beyond rationality, because the rules won't work. Okay, you do have some rules, but there are so many exceptions, like receive, deceive, the after C is the E and then I. You could try all that. Okay, but then you will have something else. Okay, believe is different. With C it's different. So there are some rules, but I have always steered clear of the rules because of the very simple reason that of the exceptions. Okay, so coming back to I still remember, I'm going to just use one example. If the word is tomorrow, fortunately this is not too much of a unsync. Now, children are always confused. I remember a long debate, how many R's, how many M's. You will have two M's, sometimes double M's and double R's, single M and double R. Koi reason hai? Very hard to explain, you will bang your head. So, here's a very simple technique, and I've seen that it works with the pre-primary, it works with 60 years old, 6 years old, 16-year-old, every. Why? Because it has nothing to do with rationality. What we use audio, visual, possibly kinesthetic ways of learning spellings. Okay, because rationality doesn't work. Okay, so how many ways in which you can write tomorrow in a visual way? Suppose your child is making, now when a child is making mistakes, okay, suppose you've given this word as a dictation and you have one kid writing this, one kid writing this, one kid writing this. All of you will say write this 10 times. Not all of you, most of you will say write this 10 times. Yes? Yes or no? Hai ki nahi? This is how we've all grown up, right? Write it. I remember making a mistake and writing the mistake 20 times. You know what is the problem with this? We do not diagnose where specifically the problem is. The child is getting confused at this point. Where the problem, and this kid's problem is different from this kid's problem. Because he is saying this kid is doing this kid is doing this, somebody else is doing something else. You have to, and you do not have to do it. You just have to teach the children and they will do it. What you have to do is tell them where they are making a mistake, that part should be highlighted. Okay, so पहले देख लो, you just need to understand it. You can do the writing later. Anyway, they're recording it, so you can give it as a lesson, because it's the second time I'm taking this. So, what you tell the children, you have to draw this word and highlight the part where you are making the mistakes. So, and every child, when they are doing it, they will do it differently. So, for instance, so you have to bring crayons in your classroom, pencils in your classrooms. This is one way of doing it. Somebody will not, suppose this is when they are making mistakes after you have given a dictation. So instead of saying write this word 10 times, 20 times or whatever, tell them to draw it or write it again. When they write this 5 times over, if the kid has made a mistake like this, he is likely to remember, or she is likely to remember more than writing it 10-20 times. Do you understand? Because it's specific. We are saying this is where the mistake is. Okay? Now, but how do you first learn the spellings? So if you use the same method or similar methods in learning, the spelling mistakes will be fewer. So what are the ways in which we can learn spellings? Okay? You tell them to do it visually first. There are audio ways also, and they are kinesthetic. Right now I am talking about only the visual ways. Okay? So for instance, if I am a kid, maybe I want to row my boat. Okay? Okay, and maybe I want to make a Tom. Okay? This is one way of doing it. Maybe somebody might want to make a boat. Okay? Somebody may just want to make, let's say Tom is a person. The name of a person. It doesn't have to be like, no, you do not have to necessarily tell the child do this. They will come up with their own ways. You say find out where you are getting confused. So in the learning of it itself, you will find different. Let's take up another difficult word, so where people make mistakes.
They all are saying DI.
Delighted.
DI, they're all confused. They're saying why is D?
Don't
Why do you say like E?
Delight. And the pronunciation is also different everywhere, right? You can talk about breaking it up into syllables and all. This is a totally different method. We are not even going into syllables. We are not even going into breakup. We are saying we are totally circumventing the whole thing. Okay? And we are saying use these methods. It will work for a language like English. So, the why cannot be answered. Again. Don't ask me. I didn't say. So light is simple enough. There are many ways of doing light, right? You light bana do. Or you can make a bulb. Okay, and write L-I-G. Then they will learn what is light. And then you will just have to make a D. And you say, I do not know. Children will love doing this, especially small children. What you can also do is give them little chits of paper, give each child a different word, and you see how you can visually represent it and put it up on the classboard. Okay, we are going to do that with you right now. Okay, so that you can do that. So then what happens, let's say you're doing a lesson, even if it is cat, bat, rat. Okay, so for bat, what can you do? You can actually draw a bat, right? So you can have a bat. ऐसे बैट बना दो. The child will remember this is okay. So what we will do, we will just pause and we will. Have you got the hang of this? We are using color. So suppose you say it's too much to use pencils and all, and let's say the kid is I don't have the colors, I don't want to use. You have only one color. So then you do this. So you can say 2M. Just make the M bigger. Okay, and the R. Okay, wherever the confusion is, right? You can make it into a different shape with the same color. You can use different colors. You can use shapes. You can use cartoons. You can use many things. Okay? So the visual is engaged. The visual dimension is engaged. Okay? When the visual dimension is engaged, then the word sticks. Okay? Can you please take some paper? Everybody, let's do some. You can take, if you don't want to use the full, use, see how much you want to use. Yeah, give this round. Take full or take half. Take whatever colors you want. Okay? Can we have let's give you a word. Okay, everybody give everybody a difficult word. Huh? If you don't want the full, use half. Reshmi, give Sindhuja a word. Parsimonious.
Okay. Any word?
Are do na, which is a little challenging.
We don't know, so we can give.
Yeah, give. Yeah, give. Give anything.
Philanthropist.
Okay, but this is not a spelling.
I'll give you one which the children find difficult. Because.
Many children don't get. There, now she's come down to your. Couldn't resist that. Okay, you give her a word. Jaldi bolo. Naive is a good word. You give her word.
Narcissism.
I hope you know the spelling. Okay. Okay, so she's giving you narcissism. I hope no intended meanings floating in. Indu, give Sharmina a word. Hemoglobin. If you don't know the spelling, Google. I don't know, you can use. Okay. But what you are doing now is difficult. Okay, so Sharmin, give Geeta a word.
The word I always used to get confused.
Confused.
Business. No, Didi.
Oh, business. Very good. Very good word. Excellent word. Geeta, give Selvi. Receive. Give Kaveri.
Psychology.
Very good. Kaveri, give
Q.
Gayatri. Q.
To explain Q.
Not CUE, yeah?
No.
See the confusion?
Yeah, no,
Immediate.
The line Q.
Okay, Q. You give her.
Lieutenant.
I still also get. Brilliant. Hello, children. You have 5 minutes and you have all colors. Your time starts now. Hurry up. If you don't know the spelling, Google. Huh?
I didn't get the word.
You didn't get a word. You have to give.
Troublesome.
That's too easy.
No, this is a silent word is there.
हाँ ठीक है.
Silent letter.
Troublesome. What?
It's not
What's silent in troublesome? Troublesome.
troublesome. So he is also silent. Summing.
They'll get it confused between the OU. Okay, time is on, folks. Pass it around. Everybody swap, so you have somebody else's. Please, 2 minutes for looking at each other's artwork. And you see how. Give you a simple thing. Everybody has seen everybody's great work. The children will do some more innovative things, I'm sure. Okay, we have time, yeah? Okay, now I'm going to take her confusion, lieutenant. I also didn't know the spelling, I looked at it now. Okay. I just learned it right now. I'll tell you how I learned it. So, and how I learned the spellings. Okay, we almost never had. This is how I learned it. Lie, you, 10, and. Yeah? Lie, you can't go, you say it's lieutenant, okay? But the spelling, if you say lieutenant, they will write left. But how are you going to learn the spelling? The spelling is, you see how broken up. I am not going by the traditional syllable thing. You can. Actually, this is actually breaking up into the syllables more or less. But you see how the approach is very different. It's tapping a different way of learning. It works. What happens when this doesn't work? You may think, oh, such a nice way. We're using color and still it's not working. Some kid is still making a mistake. So, who's good at singing here? Come on, out with it. Okay, who's good at, you're good at yes, Charmin? What word did you get? Please sing hemoglobin. How are you going to help use music to help a child to remember hemoglobin?
Like H-A-E,
Oh.
H-A-E-M. It's too long. Because for short,
Hey, you can say hey, mo.
Hey, mo. H-A-E, and then you know.
Mo, then glow. G. Make a rap song. Ta da 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 da.
B-I-N-G-L-O-B-I-N, glow, bin. You can make the word.
Okay, like that. So that's for small children. Okay. What you could do, will the older ones tell them to create a rap song with all the difficult words, where the spelling is, when the older, they'll say we will not learn like this. Since 8th, 9th, the spelling is bad, but they will think, we are, because they've stepped into teenage, so then they think they're the next thing happening to the world. Okay. So you have to tell them, okay, I'm giving you 10 minutes, create a rap song. But they have to remember, but this disadvantage of this method is they get so lost in being cool and creating a rap song, the spelling is lost. So that can't happen. So I would say use this method as far as it works. If it doesn't with some children, you can use music, okay? Now, suppose you are getting confused with so how can you make tomorrow into a dance number? Like, let's say, I'll tell you what I used to do. I'll give you, I'll say the spelling.
T-O.
No, you suppose you get confused at the M-O. So you say, so you say T-O-M, jump. So you can tell the class, the little ones, even the big, jump. T-O-M-O.
R.
You said you jump at the R's. You said jump at the R's. So they're jumping twice. They remember it is, choose only one letter in which they jump. This is a simple, you can even make it instead of R. Okay. It can be anything. It can be a dance move. You can make it interesting. Okay. You can say you do a twist on R. Okay. Do you understand? So give us do receive. Lieutenant is, so this may not lend itself to jumping, but where there are double R, or let's say if it's double letters also, let's say if it's like receive, okay, so you jump at the E's, so you know, so you just do this,
R-E-C-E-I-V-E,
and jump at the E.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, you don't have to jump. You can say do this. You can say do this. You say do this. You twirl. Okay, get it? So we are using movement. We are using the body. Thank you. We are using the body to learn. You understand? Okay, you have 5 minutes. Time starts now. Go somewhere so you can practice.
A is the tick.
Did you learn the spelling? Arey, once more, encore, once more.
Watching or did you know the spelling? A-E-S, T-H-E, T-H-E, T-I-C, T-I-C. A is the tick. A is the tick.
A-E-S-T-H-E. I learnt it.
C-O-L-O-G-N-E, 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 Cologne is my name. C-O-L-O-G-N-E, C-O-L-O-G-N-E, Cologne is my name.
Name O.
Bingo.
Oh.
That's C-I-S-S-C-O-S-S. Christos.
Very good. This was too short a workshop. It was very brief, I understand, and I focused on only one thing. But I think you got the hang of it for now. Actually, we need much more time, but I think you see that this much. We won't have time right now to go into anything else because you also have to go to your classes. So we will close at any time of the day. If you have any question, do that. You can try, and you can ask me anytime, anywhere. No problem. You just give this a shot in whatever way you can, and then we will get back. There are many other things we have to discuss, but now I'm going to pause it because of a positive. All of you have classes, right?
Yes.
So we'll close.
So I just want to share one thing, Didi. So the same thing what I did with the second grade was I called it chunky monkey because they like the term. And another thing what I did was, suppose it is team. I said T, your 3-letter words they will know. So I said T plus M or M, and I said let's do the chunky monkey. So at least they'll remember chunky monkey.
For what word?
For all the words, the new words which we have in the.
So T and chunky monkey means what?
Chunky monkey is
breaking it up. Okay.
So just a term.
Yeah. You first saying.
To break it up. And suppose the word is delighted. Also, I said D plus light. Think of the light.
Yeah, that's what we would do.
Yes, the same thing. And just I used a term called chunky monkey, so something they will remember.
Yeah, for the little ones. So D, E, you have to remember because they will say just D is enough.
Yes, so I said D, E, let's stress, and then light and edge.
See, English is a language where you need practice because a rule per se will not work. Okay, you've taught them a rule and you say, yeah, O ki matra, O ki matra, that works in other languages. It doesn't work in English. So the repetition is important, but repetition is very monotonous and it doesn't stick to you. That's why we are trying these various methods. Ultimately, it is repetition, but repetition with a difference, as you can see. Repetition involving different senses. Okay, that is what will help the children to basically, peg them to their minds and memorize them. Yeah? Shall we close? And we can take more up another time. Just 1 minute and then we close.